Hundreds gathered tonight outside the downtown Federal Building with one clear message. They want President Obama to reject the proposed Keystone XL pipeline.
The San Diego demonstration was one of more than 120 such protests nationwide. San Diego 6's John Carroll joining us live downtown with some of the reasons protesters say this pipeline should never be built. John.
Well, Netta, Jim, about 200 people gathered here at the intersection of Front and Broadway earlier this evening. This intersection, of course, the scene of so very many protests over the years on so many different things. But tonight their message was to President Obama, and it was crystal clear. They told him that they do not want him to approve that Keystone XL pipeline. Now, you may recall that the Congress, the House of Representatives, has passed the bill through. The Senate is now debating it, although because the Senate is now under Republican control, it's expected to go ahead and pass it. There's a whole other issue there, whether the Congress has any authority here or not, because the pipeline is ultimately the decision of President Obama. So that's who they were targeting their message at here tonight, to the President, to tell him to reject that Keystone XL pipeline. Now, to be clear, what's going on here is not the entire pipeline, because some of it has already been built. But this portion that they're talking about is the most critical portion, because it's the portion that crosses the international border between Canada and the United States, and that's the reason that this decision will ultimately fall to the President, because of that international aspect of the pipeline. So again, the message to President Obama: reject the pipeline, because they say it would be the nail in the coffin of climate change.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Keystone Pipeline's got to go!
They chanted,
"Reject that pipeline!"
and held up signs that brought approving honks from passing motorists. Messages that were hard to miss. This one in lights with a suggestion of what these protesters say the pipeline is all about: big bucks.
It affects a lot of communities, a lot of places, and it's just a disaster waiting to happen.
The Keystone Pipeline project was first proposed in 2005 by the Trans-Canada Oil Company. It would bring heavy, difficult-to-refine tar sands oil right through the middle of the United States. On Monday, the Nebraska Supreme Court rejected a challenge to the pipeline. The U.S. House of Representatives has approved it, and the Senate is now debating it. The Senate is expected to join the House in passing a bill to approve the pipeline, but because the pipeline would cross an international border, the ultimate decision rests with President Obama.
When I first heard Obama, he was kind of hum-hawing around and doing some things, but he's actually come out and said he was going to. So I'm going to take him at his word, and I really hope Obama does reject the pipeline.
Part of the argument for the pipeline is that it would be a job creator, and that's true to an extent. It's expected it would create thousands of construction jobs. That's why it's gotten a fairly large amount of support from some unions. But after the construction is over, those construction jobs go away.
It's going to be a lot of jobs initially, going through people's properties and destroying homes and lands, but eventually those are going to be done, and you're going to be down to 35 to 50 possible people that will be working this.
Tonight's protest was organized by the grassroots environmental group San Diego 350. The group's mission is to raise awareness about what they say are the disastrous consequences of global climate change.
All of the countries in the world have agreed that exceeding 2 degrees of warming would be catastrophic. We need to leave 80% of known fossil fuels in the ground, and the Keystone Pipeline is taking us in the opposite direction.
Now, they also gathered signatures on a petition tonight that will be presented to the White House. In addition, the organizers called upon the crowd to make sure that they call the White House tomorrow and make their thoughts clear to President Obama. Live tonight in downtown San Diego, John Carroll, San Diego 6 News.